This is a special podcast presentation from 700WLW.com. This is Casey Boland on Demand.
Casey Boland's joining me. Casey's with Hengel Capital Management. And Casey, you're talking about the power of the number one today. It gets around to the 1%. But first of all, I mean, it seems like a minuscule little number. In fact, they get no smaller. The power of one. Give me an example.
Oh, with the power of one, think about it from if you go to the gym at all. If you lift weights, that ability to do one more rep, that last rep that you can barely finish, that one last rep increases of your benefits of that workout substantially. And with your finances, it may seem like a small number, but it's huge in the impact it can have.
Yeah, one example you have is a difference if I'm applying for a mortgage, and the difference between someone who gets a 4% interest rate and somebody else who only qualifies for a 5%.
That's right. So if you're borrowing $150,000 over 30 years, they're both good interest rates, but paying 1% more, paying 5 versus 4, it's going to cost you a little over $32,000 more in interest in the loan of that life just because of a 1% interest rate. So you'll pay 30% more in interest payments versus the other person. So it's so important to take care of your credit score.
Yeah. Same thing would happen when it comes to saving. Someone's saving 5% of what they make for their retirement. Somebody else is saving 6%. Doesn't sound like much, but what's the impact?
Well, it's 6% versus 5. You're going to have 20% more than the other individual, so that's a huge impact. So in many ways, the number one can have an incredible impact with your finances. So maybe you consider, hey, can I save 1% more now? The next year, increase it by 1% a year again. Easy way to do that, think about with your raise. Saving 1% of your raise, you're not going to miss it, or sign up for an automatic increase feature with your 401k. Let's say you do this for 10 years. Your savings rate will go from 5% a year to 15% a year. And, I'll bet you will barely miss that 1% change in pay each year. But that 1%, that power of one, you'll be thankful retirement later that you chose to employ the power of saving 1% more. That old saying, a little really can go a long way.